welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Sam Menzie, and we have a great show for you today. The first topic we'll be covering is recapping the Dodgers-Padres Seoul Series game, the number 2 of the series, so it is going to come to an end after today, which it did, obviously, because the game happened today. After that, we'll be talking about Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the struggles he's had since coming over to the MLB. After that, we'll be talking about the Texas Rangers signing Michael Lorenzen, and the fourth segment will be about some general news stories around the league. Now, before we do that, I would like to ask you to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get run in the air, please use the link gsmcpodcast.net. Really does help the show, really does mean a lot, really does help me, the entire network. So, thank you so much for that, and let's get straight into the video, the show. So, the first topic we'll be talking about today is obviously what I talked about a little bit in the preview, which is the Dodgers-Padres. Today was the last game of the 2-game Seoul Series in Korea. So, came to an end today. The Padres ended up being victorious over the Dodgers to split the series and get both teams to be 1-1. So, we're just going to talk about what happened and overall a recap of the game and some takeaways from it. So the final score of the game was, of course, 15-11 Padres. A really high-scoring game, especially going into the year already. Baseball games do not go as high as 15-11 usually, so a lot of firepower today, and we'll explain why. So first, in the top of the first inning, Jake Cronenworth hit a triple off Yamamoto to Jason Hayward to score Xander Bogaerts and Fernando Tatis Jr. So Cronenworth, off a bad season last year, is starting off really hot, starting off well. So good for him to try and bounce back and get a nice RBI here in the first. Then Ha-Sung Kim hit a sacrifice fly, scoring Jake Cronenworth to make it 3-0 Padres with only one out in the top of the first. The new Padres catcher, Luis Campusano, then doubled on a ground ball to left fielder Teoscar Hernandez, which was deflected by Max Muncy, and Manny Machado ended up scoring and made 4-0 Padres. After that, we had Tyler Wade singling on a line drive to Jason Hayward, making it 5-0 San Diego, scoring Luis Campusano, and making it not a great first inning for the Dodgers and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So obviously the Padres had the momentum going into the start of the game and started off really well. But the Dodgers up to bat now in the bottom of the first. Will Smith doubled on a sharp fly ball to center fielder Jackson Merrill, scoring Ohtani. Freddie Freeman went to third, making it 5-1 Padres now in the bottom of the first going into the second. So, of course, a great start by the Padres, but a nice job for the Dodgers to answer a little bit and try and get some runs back on the board. Bottom of the second, Ohtani hit another RBI for the Dodgers, getting a sacrifice fly to score Gavin Lux. It was to Fernando Tatis Jr. Mookie Betts went to third to make it 5-2 Padres. So slowly the Dodgers are coming back. Obviously, the Padres started off really well, so it's just nice by the Dodgers try and piece this back together, just piece by piece, get some runs together. Then in the top of the third, Xander Bogaerts hit a 2 RBI single up the middle to make it 7-2 Padres, kind of blowing the game open at that point. We figured the Dodgers were coming back a little bit, but Padres just blew it open. And then after that, Fernando Tatis Jr. reached on a fielding error by Max Muncy to score Jackson Merrill. Xander Bogaerts then went to third to make it 8-2 Padres. Then Jake Cronenworth hit another RBI, hitting a sacrifice fly to James Outman, scoring Xander Bogaerts, and also James Outman had a throwing error on that play. So now it was the top of the third, and it was 9-2 Padres. Not what anyone expected, I'd say, especially for a game where we thought it might be a pitching duel. Bottom of the third now, Dodgers trying to come back a little bit. James Outman hit an RBI ground out to Jake Cronenworth. Will Smith scored. Max Muncy went to third, making it 9-3 Padres. Jason Hayward hit an RBI single on a line drive, making it 9-4 Padres. Then Mookie Betts doubled, scoring 2, making it 9-6 Padres. And suddenly, just like that, the Dodgers are back in this game. I mean, the Dodgers lineup and just the depth they have on this team is just absolutely incredible. 9-2 to start the game, and it's just 9-6 right after that. The amount of just pure talent on this team is truly just extraordinary, and they can really come back from any deficit we're seeing right now. Jake Cronenworth then hit another RBI, making it 10-6 Padres. Just on an absolute tear this game he was. Had a really bad season last year. Coming off that big extension, was involved in a lot of trade rumors, specifically involved in Juan Soto trade talks. A lot of teams were thinking about taking his contract on with Soto to lower the price of getting Soto. That's how much he's viewed as a negative, that he would be a guy to take on a contract. Teams would take on his contract to get a player. They didn't even look at him as a positive asset at that point. They looked at him as a negative one. So a really bad season last year, an off season that was filled with trade rumors for him. So it's nice to see him coming back He's had a really nice career so far. Came out, obviously got a big extension by the Padres. So it's been really nice to see Jake Cronenworth coming back again, doing his old thing. And his career's been really exciting so far. He's a guy who was a throw-in in the Tommy Pham trade when he got traded from Tampa to San Diego as a two-way player. Has really come into his own as the first baseman for the Padres. So really happy for him, and I'm glad he's performing again. Mookie Betts then hit a 2-run homer to make it 10-8 Padres. Mookie Betts is just so good. He's so incredible, such an amazing player. I feel like people don't realize how good he actually is. I mean, we obviously know he's an amazing player, first ballot Hall of Famer as soon as he retires, as soon as he hits 10 years, really. But he is just an incredible player, an incredible talent, and I feel like we've taken him for advantage now because he's talent for advantage because we've seen him play for so long. Just wow, he is so good, and he's one of the leaders on the Dodgers team, of course. Only at the top of the sixth now, Luis Campusano hitting an RBI double to make it 11-8 Padres, so getting some more insurance runs for the Padres. In the top of the sixth, it's 11-8, an incredible game. Jose Azocar reached on another fielding error by Max Muncy, scoring Xander Bogaerts and getting the bases loaded, make it 12-8 Padres. Could not do anything else after that, but still 12-8 Padres in the top of the seventh. I'd say that's pretty great for them. After that, we had Will Smith singling on a fly ball to second baseman Xander Bogaerts. Yeah, there we go. Will Smith singling on a fly ball to second baseman Xander Bogaerts. Mookie Betts scored. Freddie Freeman went to third, so now it is 12-9 Padres. Dodgers again, just always staying in the game, no matter how high the lead gets, no matter how much their spirits might be crushed because of how the game is going. Always keeping in the game, and that's what's so incredible about this Dodgers team. The sheer amount of talent they have. They know how to stick in games. They know how to just be there, never feel like they're out of it. So many incredible things about this Dodgers team, and I think that's up there. Mookie Betts, again, RBI single, scoring James Outman, scoring Jason Hayward, making it a one-run game now in the bottom of the eighth, 12-11 Padres. Dodgers fans feeling some hope now, and it all comes crashing down, as in the top of the ninth, Manny Machado homers on a fly ball to left field. Fernando Tatis Jr. scores. Jake Cronenworth scores, making it 15-11 Padres. And absolutely crushing Dodgers fan spirit, who they in the end when they thought they could maybe come back, but nope. Manny lays it down to his former team and his rival now, and closes out the game for him. Robert Suarez gets a 1-2-3 inning to close out the game, striking out Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, and Max Muncy, heart of the Dodgers lineup. And that is it for the game. 15-11 Padres, a really exciting game, really interesting game. The fact that it was so high scoring this early into the game. So I think the Seoul Series was a success. Again, I'm a big fan of it. Always a big fan of expanding baseball, expanding the game, expanding the league to other places. To me, baseball is the best game in the world, so I'm always happy when other people have a chance to experience it. And Korea, there's been a lot of players coming from Korea in the past few years. I think it is becoming a great place for players to come from the KBO. We had Eric Fetty come over, an American, of course, but kind of got his career back on track in the KBO, signed a nice deal with the White Sox. Stars like Jung-Hoo Lee came over. Ha-Sung Kim came over as well. So I think Korea is a great place to have it. I think they're becoming more of a baseball country than ever. They always were, but because just being in Asia, so I think you're always a baseball country there, but they're having a lot more players now. I think the Dodgers and Padres were great choices. Padres have 2 Korean players on their roster, so I think they were a pretty great choice to play there. Same with the Dodgers as well. As much as they don't have Korean players, they do have Japanese players. The countries are around each other, so I think they're a great choice. And in California, there is a large Asian population, so I really don't think there could have been 2 better teams to be picked. Also, adding on to that, these teams are rivals. They don't like each other very much, so I think that brought another level of competitiveness to the game, realness to the game with the players being there. So I thought this was a great idea. I thought it was a great move by Manfred, by the entire league, to have this Seoul Series game. I think they picked the exact right teams, and I'd be looking forward to it next year. Maybe not with these teams again, but overall I think it was a great success, and I think it was a great idea by Manfred and his team. Going over the notable box scores now, Mookie Betts had 5 at-bats, scored 2 runs, had 4 hits, and had 6 RBIs and a walk. He's incredible. He's just an incredible talent. He had a 1.838 OPS now going into the season. Just, again, incredible. Ohtani only had 1 hit and 5 at-bats, but had an RBI, scored a run, so pretty great by him. He's hitting 300 on the season. Again, small sample size, but is what you want. OPS is not good as 573, but again, he's showing the pieces. He's showing why he is Ohtani so far. He's showing you just little by little why he is who he is. So nothing you can complain about. Freddie Freeman had a hit and also had 2 walks. Will Smith had 4 hits and 6 at-bats. Really great job by him. 2 RBIs as well. Max Muncy made some fielding errors, but 6 at-bats, 2 hits. Not a great game for him, but at least got some hits to get off the fielding errors, I guess, which were a big deal, though. Teoscar Hernandez had 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in his 3 at-bats. James Outman, 3 at-bats, had scored 1 run, had an RBI, and had a walk. So nice job by him. Doesn't have a hit yet on the season, so hopefully he'll get that going into the real opening day soon. After that, we had Jason Hayward scoring 3 runs, getting 2 hits and an RBI in his 5 at-bats. A really nice job by him, having another strong season with the Dodgers, which he's trying to build off last year. Gavin Lux had 2 runs, 2 hits in 5 at-bats, so nice job by him in this game. Of course, Yamamoto struggled. 1 inning pitched, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Has a 45 ERA in the season. I'm not going to be talking about him in depth in this part because he is the next segment I'm going to be talking about. So I'll be talking about him more there. So stick around if you want to hear about that. So I'm not going to go too much in depth here. Michael Grove out of the bullpen was not good either. 2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Not good. Same with Kyle Hurt. 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. Bullpen was great yesterday for the Dodgers, but some of the younger guys came in and were really not that good. Alex Vesia gave up an earned run and a walk. Ryan Yarbrough out of the bullpen gave up a hit. JP Feyereisen, 1 inning pitch, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 home run. Not good. Gus Varland, 1/3 of an inning, was good. So Dodgers bullpen, the younger guys there are not performing as well as the veteran guys are. So that's something I'll definitely watch going into the season, seeing how these guys do perform, seeing if they can live up to their potential a little bit. So that's something I want to see. Going to the Padres box score here now. We have Xander Bogaerts leading off. In 5 at-bats, he had 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a walk. So his really nice job starting off the season in his new position at second base. I think it shows a lot about him being a veteran, being fine with moving positions for the first time in his career, doing the better of the team. So I like that he's doing that, and I think he's showing the Padres that he's a real leader on this team. You had Fernando Tatis Jr. in 4 at-bats, had 2 runs, 2 hits, an RBI, and a walk. So pretty nice game by him. Jay Cronenworth, of course, was a beast. 4 at-bats, 4 hits, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. An incredible start to his season. 1.250 OPS to start the season. Manny Machado, 2 runs, a hit, and 3 RBIs. 2 walks as well in his 4 at-bats. Really nice start to his season. Ha-Sung Kim went hitless but had an RBI in his walks, so that's okay with him. He's probably having a little bit of nerves going back to his native Korea, so I don't blame him that much. Jurickson Profar had 3 at-bats, had a walk, so that was nice for him. Luis Campusano, 6 at-bats, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Great job by him to start off the season, being the Padres' main catcher for the first time in his career. Really excited to see what he can do with this opportunity. I think he's a really good player, so I am happy for him getting this opportunity. Tyler Wade, the new Padres third baseman for now, while Manny Machado nurses his injury. He had a run, 2 hits, and an RBI. Surprisingly, he's off to a really nice start with the Padres this season, so could show to be a valuable bench piece going down into the year. And Jackson Merrill had his first MLB hit today. 2 hits in 5 at-bats, 3 strikeouts though, but having an okay start to the season. So overall, that was the Padres-Dodgers game. 15-11 Padres. So obviously very exciting score. Was not much of a pitching duel, I'd say. Looking at the Padres box score now for the pitchers. Joe Musgrave gave up 5 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. Not good at all. Tom Crossgrove gave up an earned run out of the bullpen. Michael King gave up 3 earned runs as well. I don't know why he was out of the bullpen, but I guess they could use it in that way because there's a big gap. But that's what Shilt's doing. Yuki Matsui only gave up 2 hits, but no earned runs, and Robert Suarez shut it down for a save. So it was a really exciting game. I'm really excited. So I'm really excited for the game. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch these teams going into the season, and super excited to see what they can do next. So that's our first segment. For the second segment, what we're going to do is talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto and his struggles. We talked about it a little bit in the last segment, of course, because he was in that game, and that's where kind of his struggles were going towards. But I wanted to talk about more in depth for a whole segment because I thought it was a notable topic. So we're going to talk about that. And before that, we'll go to a break, but we'll talk about that next. So thanks, and see you after that. Bye.